Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sheboygan A's Baseball here at Wildwood Park. My name is Mike Martin, and I will be bringing you today's Wisconsin State League doubleheader versus the 11-11 Addison Braves, managed by Larry Kurkowski. Sheboygan, 32-18, coached by Tim Moyer, is 13-13 in WSL action. Both teams are tied for fourth place. Starting pitchers tonight for Sheboygan, there you see him warming up, is Jared Reklitis. And for Addison, they're starting Matt McLear. Let's go through the starting lineup and batting order for the Braves. Blaine Bradford will be leading off at third base. Harry Fondre is over at first base, hitting second. Batting third is their center fielder, Kyle Campbell. Batting fourth and playing right field is Dave Mitchell. Batting fifth, Tom Moran, the second baseman. Batting sixth, Chris Kolaskowski, playing short. Brian Donlia is in left, batting seventh. Batting eighth is the DH, Alex Perez. And batting ninth, their catcher, Ty Kowaleski. Defensively for Sheboygan, they have Harry Stelt at first, Ross Christ at second, Cooper Gussie at third, and Joey Pettit at short. Gus Walker's in left. Jonathan Kim is back again. Missed a few games. He'll be out in center, and Jacoby Andreas is in right. Catching is Justin Schnell, and again on the mound, Jared Reklitis. Reklitis entering today's game has pitched 48 2/3 innings. He's got a 0.55 ERA. He's 5-1 on the season. He's been really good for Sheboygan, making his 8th start, and he has 4 complete games. Bradford takes that pitch in the dirt, makes the count 1-2 strikes. Big night tonight at the ballpark. We have a birthday boy here today, and we have the Hall of Fame group. They're going to induct 2 Hall of Famers today. Bouncing ball to Pettit at short, and he makes the play across. That's going to bring up the first baseman for Addison. Fandry is the first baseman. Had a very nice rendition of the national anthem by a classmate of mine, John Dahl. He's actually very awesome. If you get a chance to hear him, you might want to go to that venue and watch him perform. Reklitis with the good fastball. Throws that for a strike. Some more numbers on Jared. He struck out 77 batters in now 49 innings. Pitch just off the plate, makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. He's only walked 13. He's around the plate. Jared has 3 shutouts among those 5 wins also. There's a bouncing ball over to Chris. He takes it on the high hop. Another easy out. In the State League Challenge, Sheboygan played Addison. We were actually the visiting team that game and ended up losing 6-1. The big difference in the ball game was a grand slam home run by Joe Stagakowski. Joe is not in the starting lineup. That's a good thing. Kyle Campbell takes that first pitch for a strike. Kyle playing out in center field for the Braves. Doubleheader today, 2 7-inning games, and a doubleheader tomorrow, also 2 more 7-inning games. Ball is pounded foul. And for Sheboygan, though, these 4 games will conclude their state league season. We're hoping to finish above 500. Good fastball, blew it right by Campbell, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Reclitis. Sheboygan will be coming up. Matt McLear is warming up for Addison. We'll give you the Sheboygan A's batting order. Leading off and playing left field is Gus Walker. Batting second and playing second is Ross Christ. Batting third and playing first base is Harry Stout. Batting fourth and playing center field is Jonathan Kim. Kim will be the Northwoods cleanup hitter tonight. Batting fifth and playing right field, Jacoby Andreas. Batting sixth and DHing tonight is Jimmy Jurgensen. Batting seventh is the shortstop, Joey Pettit. Batting eighth is the catcher, Justin Schnell. And batting ninth and playing third base, Cooper Gussie. Walker broke out of his slump in the last game. He hit that grand slam home run that made it 7-5 game at the time. Gus had been struggling, but he hammered that ball out a grand slam. Hopefully he can keep that going. Entering action tonight, Gus is hitting .373. Imagine he's been in a slump. What he'd be doing if he was hitting. Good fastball swing and a miss by Walker. Makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, that kid that was 15 minutes out, Bill, just walked in the park. You might see him go into the dugout. There he goes. And a walk. Walker showing a good eye. Draws a leadoff walk. Good start by Sheboygan. That'll bring up Ross Christ.
Second baseman, number 31, Ross Christ.
That was the 19th walk for Walker. Chris steps in. He's hitting .355. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Walker taking a bit of a lead over there, not much. Have a nice crowd, considering the threatening weather. Between games is the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tom Grams and Kenny Nazy being inducted. Pitch makes it 3-1. Our umpires today, we have Peyton Kelling behind home plate and John Applegren on the bases. And another walk. Not a good start for McLear. Our game time weather report, we have 81 degrees at game time. The skies are cloudy and there is a breeze blowing out towards left and left center. Here he is up next. McAleer got himself in a jam. Let's see if Sheboygan can make him pay. First pitch is up and in for a ball. Trotting out to talk to his pitcher is Kowaleski. Chris Weedo was the starter for Addison in that game back on June 12th. He went the distance, pitched a good one, allowed 1 run. It was unearned, and only allowed 2 hits. 7 hits. Another pitch up high. Usually when you have pitches going up high, the pitcher's release point is obviously out of sync. You may be striding too far or not far enough. There's a slow roller out to the second baseman. He goes to second, and they get the double play. Boy, I didn't think they had a chance at it, but they were able to turn it. A 4-6-3 double play. On the double play, Walker moves over to third base.
Northwood's cleanup batter, the center fielder, number 14, Jonathan Kim.
Hey, Tom Martin up in the press box. Tommy, a Hall of Famer for Sheboygan, former Holy Namer, North High grad. Why don't you put this on, Tommy? Talk to us a little bit. That's good. That leaves me more time. Okay, that does not go over your ear. No, that'll work too. It'll work this way. Yeah, there you go. So, Tommy, how long are you in town for?
I got to leave Monday again. Back home.
Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just outside of Memphis.
Alrighty.
Really miss this.
They've had some really nice crowds this year. We had a pretty nice crowd today when you think about it. Bouncing ball out to second. Takes a nice hop. And Moran able to make the play, and that ends the Sheboygan first. They threatened but couldn't score. We'll keep it right here, Tommy. Talk a little bit about your experience as a Hall of Famer. You know, what it was like getting inducted. And
Well, we didn't have this kind of a facility. We played all our games at Legion Park, which was pretty old by the time we got there. And it had some idiosyncrasies.
like left center field and right center field.
Yeah. Tree in center.
Well, that was out in right center, but
But I really miss it. I do. Even though I'm way past prime, I wished I'd have been able to play longer, but I had to move out of town for a job, and that was the end of my career.
no, have you played any ball since? Softball, any that kind of thing?
Not since I left Sheboygan.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you were a good one.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. You know what I remember about you, Tommy? This is kind of a put down, but I remember yelling at the umpires a lot.
Well, we went through that we couldn't really count on.
Oh, I tell this story all the time about, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's this one umpire, when you see him walk in the park, you knew something was going to go wrong. And when I started umpiring, my goal was I don't want to be that guy.
I'm going to go see a couple of the other guys. And,
Same here, Tom. It's great. It's too bad we can only see each other once a year, but maybe that's what keeps it special.
well, I really try to make all of these now because I don't see the guys other than
Right.
my
Yeah.
mother, so.
Yeah. Good point. And if you see Tom Graham's, and is Kenny over there too? I don't think he's coaching today. Tell those guys they should stop over after their induction so we can interview them over here like we do with you. Okay, appreciate that.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for stopping over. Great to see you again. Take care. Dave Mitchell is up for Addison. He has a no ball, 2-strike count. Slow roller out to Pettit. Good play by Joey. That brings up Tom Moran. Tommy was talking about the old Legion Park. It had some very unique idiosyncrasies. Center field was about 360 only. But when you looked at the power alleys, they were, I think, 395 and 396. And in the right field power alley, there was a tree. And a friend of mine, Ron Nidus, just wrote a book about the history of Sheboygan baseball, and he was able to get a picture of Legion Park when it was first built, and this tree was just planted. It's just a little seedling. And now the tree is still there, 70 years, 80 years later, and it's huge. Wasn't quite that big when we played, but it was big. Swing and a miss. Moran goes down on strikes. 2 outs in the second inning. That'll bring up the shortstop.
Shortstop, number 11, Chris
Karasinski. Good fastball by Reklitis. Ball is popped up. Foul. We're in the top of the second inning of Game 1 of this 4-game weekend series. No score so far. And chased one out of the zone for strike 3 after an inning and a half. No score. Jacoby Andreas will be leading off the second inning for Sheboygan. Jacoby playing out in right field. He's gotten a lot of playing time out there recently. Sheboygan has suffered a couple of season-ending injuries. One to Jacob Neese. Neese played mostly third base. And the other was to Brady Zach Grisen, who was an outfielder and was starting and playing a lot. Little topper right back to the mound, and easy play. 1-3 is the putout. And that'll bring up Jimmy Jurgensen. Jurgensen is tied with Harry Stelt for the team lead in home runs with 6. Steps in hitting 255. Well, it looked like a big inning for Sheboygan in the first with those 2 leadoff walks. There's a line drive base hit to right. Gets by the right fielder, rolls all the way to the wall, and Jimmy's going to pull up with a 1-out single and then give the right fielder an error, allowing Jimmy to go to second. Mitchell out there couldn't handle it. Got over there in good shape. Looks like he was going to hold Jimmy to a single, but then booted it out there. That brings up Joey Pettit. Pettit playing over at short. So anyway, we got those 2 leadoff walks in the top of the first, and then got what looked like a slow motion double play. It's a slow roller out the second, and they were able to turn it. 4-6-3 double play. Pop up down the right field side is out of play. That ball's also popped out of play. Right in the bed of a red truck and rolls onto the grass. That was one of the Addison guys' trucks. No kids outside the ballpark chasing those down. There's a bouncing ball out to short. Karasinski makes the play, and Jurgensen moves over to third, but there are 2 outs. That leaves it up to Justin Schnell. Lear's first pitch is in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch hangs outside. Jimmy Jurgensen over at third. They're pitching the dirt. Good stop by the catcher, Kowalinski. There's a line drive out into left field. And that'll score, Jimmy. RBI base hit by Justin Schnell gives Sheboygan a 1-0 lead. Had a nice stroke on that ball. Took that outside pitch and directed it right to the left fielder. That brings up Cooper Gussie. Gussie batting 9th and playing 3rd tonight. Another pitch in for a strike. Justin Schnell not taking a big lead over at first base. Be interesting to see if he goes on this pitch. He's not. Waiting on deck is the leadoff hitter, Gus Walker. That looked pretty close, but it hung inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gussie. It's a bouncer over to third. Ball's in the dirt, but a nice scoop by Fandry to complete the play, and it goes 5-3 put out, but not before Sheboygan comes up with a run. After 2 complete, Sheboygan up 1-0. Jared Recklitis has completed his warm-up pitches, and that's going to bring up Brian Donlea, the left fielder. Donlea fouls that first pitch off. We're in the top of the third inning. Sheboygan scored in their second on a line drive base hit by Justin Schnell to drive in Jimmy Jurgensen. A slow roller out to short. Good play by Pettit. Hustled in really well, made the one-hand pickup, and fired a strike over to Harry for the out.
Number 34, Alex Perez.
Alex Perez is up next. Alex is the DH tonight, at least in this first game. Perez takes a healthy cut at that first offering from Recklitis and fouls it back. There's a bouncing ball out to Harry. He stabs it and takes it to the bag himself for out number 2. And with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, that's going to bring up their number 9 hitter, the catcher, Kowalinsky. Ball is fouled off the screen near the Sheboygan dugout. Had a chance to talk with Eric Schmitz prior to the game, and the reason he hasn't pitched in a while is he does believe he's got some tendonitis. He is throwing a little bit before the game and trying to keep himself loose and in shape, but he doesn't want to chance it just yet. And quick 1-2-3 strike, and that ends the third inning for Addison. We'll be right back. Matt McAleer is finishing up his warm-up tosses. In the fourth inning, the Sheboygan fourth, we'll give you our trivia question for this game. It does involve Wisconsin State League action. Leading off the inning for Sheboygan, the top of the third will be Gus Walker. Walker reached on a walk back in the first, but couldn't quite make it around. Got the third, and that's where he stayed when the last out was made. Walker takes that first pitch for a ball. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. There's a drive out into deep right center field. Way back there. And off the base of the wall. Walker hustling around second. He's going to go into third with a dive, and he's safe. Walker with a long triple to right center field. And he was off and running right out of the box and never slowed down when he was heading in towards third. He was going for a triple all the way and made it easily. That'll bring up Ross Christ. Ross also walked his first time up. Takes that first pitch from McLear for a strike. That pitch evens the count at 1-1. Sheboygan's on top, 1-0. They're only 7-inning games, so you want to grab this early lead. And with Reclitis on the hill, you'd think it would be pretty safe. That foul ball is out of play. Bradford gave it a good chase, but it's not within his reach. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ross. Harry waiting on deck. Slow roller down the first base side. It stays fair. And hustling in from third was Gus Walker. So Ross Chris rounds out, but does get an RBI for his efforts, and Sheboygan now has a 2-0 lead. That'll bring up Harry with 1 out in the bottom of the third.
Number 19, Perez.
Harry started the night hitting .379. That's down just a touch. We mentioned that he does have 6 home runs. He also has 10 doubles. There's a roller out to Moran. And he makes the play. That's 2 balls now. Harry is hit to the second baseman. That'll bring up the Northwoods cleanup hitter, Jonathan Kim.
Center fielder, number 14, Jonathan Kim.
Wind is blowing a little stronger now out to left field. You can see that. Flag out in center field blowing. Kim generally doesn't go to left field. Count is 0-2 to Jonathan. He bounced out to second base his first time up. That ended the first inning. Kim having a nice year. Loops that one out to left field. Donlia makes the catch in left, and that ends the third inning, but not before Sheboygan tacks on another run. After 3, Sheboygan up 2-0. Reclitis taking his warm-up throws. There you see Kenny Nazy walking back to the A's dugout. He's going to be inducted between ball games into the Sheboygan A's Hall of Fame. He's a really good third baseman, just like his son. Blaine Bradford, the third baseman for Addison, is going to lead off the fourth inning.
Third baseman number 3, Blaine Bradford.
Recklitis spinning a beauty so far. 9 up, 9 down with 4 strikeouts. First pitch just off the outside corner for a ball. That pitch evens the count at 1-1. Bradford grounded to short back in the first, leading off the ball game. Of the 5 batters that have hit the ball off of Jared, none of them have been hit hard. They've all been slow rollers. So Recklitis really on his game so far tonight. That pitch evens the count at 2-2. There's nobody out. We're in the top of the fourth. You're going to want to stick around for the bottom of the fourth. That's when we have our trivia question. Full count now to Bradford. Swing and a miss. Looked like Jared took a little something off that pitch, and it fooled Bradford where he swung and missed, and that's going to bring up Harry Fandre. Harry also grounded out his first time up. His ground out went to Christ over at second. Oh, good play by that first base coach. And he didn't get hurt. That's the key thing. Yeah. Everybody up in the press box agrees with that statement. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Bill Wagner doing the field announcing. Jordan Lorenz, our intern, is taking over CJ's spot, doing a great job with that. And I'm over here on the end working alone. Mike Martin being your live stream announcer. Swing and a miss. Schnell fires it down to get the second out, so give Recklitis another strikeout. Six in the ball game. That brings up Kyle Campbell. Healthy cut and a miss. That ball is hit hard. Ross Christ over. Jacoby Andreas over and makes the grab. Sounded good off the bat, but it hung up there, and Jacoby ranged over and made the easy catch. After 3.5, Sheboygan on top 2-0. We'll have that trivia question for you in the bottom half of this inning. You can't see, it's just off the edge of your monitor, but Dawson Selvosky is getting the 10 question bit from Sheila Sergila, and he's quite entertaining. Dawson Selvosky getting the business from Sheila. Leading off the fourth inning for Sheboygan will be their right fielder. Made a nice catch to end the top of the fourth is Jacoby Andreas. All right, here's our trivia question. Which Sheboygany hit the most home runs in a Wisconsin State League season, and how many? So you got to name the player and the number. And Bill says Gene Mand 15. The ball is dropping, and Moran makes a great over-the-shoulder catch out in short right field, robbing Andreas of a base hit. That's going to bring up Jimmy Jurgensen. Jurgensen singled, went to second on the error by the right fielder, and then was able to score on Justin Schnell's base hit. We'll give you the answer right after Jimmy finishes his at-bat. The question again was, which Sheboygany hit the most home runs in a Wisconsin State League season, and how many? Jimmy fouled that second pitch back. That evens the count at 1-1. Joey Pettit waiting on deck. There's a line drive down the right field line. Fair ball! Rolling down into the corner. Jimmy hustling around first. He's going to be in second with a stand-up double. Good hit by Jimmy. He's hit the ball hard twice. His 2 times up. And that brings up Joey Pettit. All right, which Sheboygany hit the most home runs in a Wisconsin State League season, and how many? It was Randy Wilkie with 12, and that was Bill's second choice. But he didn't come up with the second choice until after the answer was given. That's what my wife says all the time. Pitch is up and in. So it's Randy Wilkie with 12, and I believe, if I remember correctly, the most ever hit was by someone other than Sheboygan, and that was 13. If I get a chance, I'll check the book. Bouncing ball is foul. 1-1 is the count to Joey Pettit. Jimmy Jurgensen is on at second with a double. McLear's pitch rides up high. See Jimmy out at second base, not taking a real big lead. Moran trying to keep him close. Pitch was called a strike, evens the count at 2-2. Joey grounded to short. That moved Jimmy over to third. And then he was able to score on the 2-out hit by Justin Schnell. Joey would love to get the RBI. Do it right now. It's 3-2. Pitch is up high for a ball, and that puts runners on first and second with only 1 out. Schnell up. That RBI by Schnell in the second inning was his 8th of the year. Jimmy getting a little bigger lead out at second. I wouldn't expect him to be running. But something hit to the outfield. He has a good chance of scoring. Schnell had a good rip at that pitch, but came up empty. It's 1-1. Pitch just off the outside corner. 2-1. Sheboygan on top, 2-0. Jared Recolytis spinning a beauty so far. That pitch just inside. Makes the count 3-1. Wouldn't expect the runners to be running on this pitch. Ball is fouled back. McLear trying to work out of another jam. And that pitch is outside for a ball. And he's walked his second batter in a row. He ran into trouble in the first inning, walking 2, was able to get out of that jam. Now he's sitting with the bases loaded and only 1 out. And Cooper Gussie up. I don't think this is Larry Kurkowski coming out to talk to his pitcher, but it is Josh Dryden. Dryden, the pitching coach. Gussie so far this season does have 8 RBIs. Boy, I'd like to get a couple more right here. Get that Sheboygan lead up even further. It's 2-0 right now. Pitch goes behind and bounces right back to the catcher. No advancement by Sheboygan. Ball's all fouled back. Gussie with a 2-1 count. Ball fouled straight back. Pitch in the dirt. Good hold by Gussie. Was able to check his swing. Catcher asked the home plate umpire to check it, which he does, and umpire Appelgren says no swing. 3-2 is the count. Pitch called, strike 3 right on the outside corner. Gussie didn't swing at it, took it for strike 3, and now we have 2 outs and the bases loaded. Walker reached on a walk and tripled. See if Gus can come through, get a couple more runs home for Sheboygan. He drives that one down the left field side, but it's going to go foul. That triple by Walker was his second third of the year. There's a line drive into left field, a base hit. That'll score a pair. Left fielder trying to throw it in, but he fell down. Runners were going to move up anyway, so give Gus Walker a 2 RBI single. And the runners advance to second and third on the throw-in. And Sheboygan now up 4-0. Chris with a line drive, stabbed by the shortstop, Karasinski, and that ends Sheboygan's 4th, but not before they come up with 2 more runs. And after 4 complete, Sheboygan leads it 4-0. Umpires are clearing the field. I believe there might have been some lightning involved, and at that point they're going to clear the field. Sheboygan will be putting on the tarps at home plate and on the pitching mound. I'm not sure. Bill making an announcement that people sitting on the aluminum bleachers may want to move to a different location. We were hoping to get this first game in unaffected, but that is not going to be the case. I believe an official game, Jordan, has to go 5 innings. Tarps are being placed on the field, and hopefully it'll only be a short rain delay. Anytime you have lightning involved, got to take that very seriously and get to where it's protected. They're also putting the rolls that the tarps are stored on top the tarp to keep it from blowing away, even though they are weighted. Through four complete innings of play, Addison has no runs, no hits, 1 error. Sheboygan has 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. We're going to leave the live stream going, but I'm going to turn off the sound, and hopefully when I come back we'll have some better news regarding the status of this ball game. Dave Gare introducing Ken Nazy for the Hall of Fame. We'll see if we can pick that up on our microphone.
On July 23rd in 1977, my wife Becky said, "I do." We are celebrating 45 years of marriage. I'm a real lucky man. Did my wife show up? We are also at the ballpark today to induct 2 new members into the Sheboygany's Hall of Fame, Tom Grams and Ken Nazy. I am honored and privileged to present to you some of the many accomplishments that Kenny has earned to achieve this high honor. Kenny was a player. I'm not quite done yet. When a baseball player watches other players play and the comment is, "That kid can play," what that really means is, that kid can play. And Kenny could play. Kenny was a player. Kenny had all the tools. He could throw, he could hit, he could run, and he played a terrific third base. I could comment on Kenny's baseball numbers because baseball is filled with numbers. Hits, runs, RBIs, stolen bases, games played. The numbers go on and on. Kenny had good numbers, as did all these Hall of Famers standing in front of you today. But baseball, like life, is a lot more than numbers. Kenny had a passion for the game, and he still has a passion. Kenny had desire, and he loved to play the game. His achievements did not come easy. He took hundreds of ground balls, thousands of throws, and spent hours in the batting cage improving his skills. He was a player's player and a great teammate. But what truly impressed me about Kenny was his desire to learn the game. Kenny told me a long time ago he learned more sitting in the dugout with the likes of Ron Hare, Gene Mann, Whitley Wettenkamp, and myself, talking baseball strategy. He now uses this acquired knowledge to help coach the A's. Now, with my pleasure, I'd like to introduce former player, former teammate, and good friend, Ken Nazy.
First of all, thank you to my friends and family that came to help on my day. I can't start anywhere but starting with our general manager, who for the last 22 years and forever will be a general manager. Eddie, you gave us a place to play that is play double headers, as Mo said. I think we were a desire for the game. We would play double headers in days like this, and I didn't really try to do weather. And when we get done, on the way home, right moments like that, would say, yeah, we go fishing. And we would go and hit a good elbow in the next field of basket. And he would say, yeah, and he would say, yeah, so that can't go to my arm for. And I would say, yeah, we just hit 2 bucks and 6 bucks. He would say, he would very good. He would say, I'm going to see the man anymore. So he really helped me to get to where I was. Thank you so much. Love you. And then finally, the only other, there's one other thing I can say. Thank you to all the girlfriends and wives out here that put up with a lot of baseball and a lot of having players not the games don't go right. My wife can attest to there were many quiet rides home and a lot of questions of what's wrong with you and this is what you say. So it doesn't go unnoticed and I appreciate it even though you don't say thank you. And the only other person that I do would like to thank that I reached out here is my grandpa who was at every age game that I think I've ever played. He was at every high school basketball game I've ever played. You still see sitting in stands in his down here where he went to his dad was at. And stuff like that that really stuck in mind. So thank you for this honor. I am humbled and honored to join the Sheboygan Hall of Fame. Thank you.
I want to welcome you all again to Benny Moore Weather. Every time I got some time to do this. I've been asked to present Tom Grant at today's Hall of Fame ceremony. Actually, I wanted to get out of this, but I'm married to 6 years. I'm trying to make my life miserable, so I couldn't turn me down. Wisely, I need to do it. After a storied high school basketball athletic career,
Danny Moyer's introducing Tom Grams, the second inductee for the Sheboyganese today.
he returned home considerably bigger, stronger, and more athletic than he was when he left. And went to college and joined Walt Anderson's UW Sheboygan basketball team. There he enjoyed considerable success. He was, in fact, much to the surprise of his sports-ready brother-in-law, named the UW Scholar Athlete of the Year. And that surprised me some. Tom Grant is a good basketball player. So good, in fact, he thought he'd try baseball. He did. He came off to the A's in 1969. And Chuck Sager and I had a number of conversations about his abilities, his strengths, and his weaknesses. We decided the best thing we could do for him was discourage him from coming out. But his mind was made up, and he was determined to try out for the A's. At first, we tried to hide him in the outfield. That wasn't the best move we ever made. He could run a little, and he knew where the ball was coming down. The problem was getting the ball back into the infield, which we caught it. His throwing ability, well, let's just say he didn't crack the A's all-time top 10. But as Chuck Sager would say, the Clark could hit. Tom worked at his game and really developed himself into a darn good hitter. He worked hard at it. He hit 293 in 1972, 342 in the state league. He hit 311 in 1974, 313 in the state league. 301 in 1975, 311 in the state league. 316 in 76, 310 in the state league. So overall, his average was 278 and a very solid 295 in the state league. He led the team in doubles in 1976 and triples in 1975. Defensively led the A's in the state and he put out total chances 4 times. So he's got some numbers. This is the one that I think is important. He ranks in the top 25 in 12 offensive categories and 6 defensive ones. And remember, he gave the A's 9 summers. I think that is important to note, since the Sheboygan A's began in 1963, 720 different players have worn the A's colors. Of those 720, only 24 have played more years than Tom's now. Longevity carries a lot of weight in the minds of the Sheboygan A's Hall of Famers when they elect to be inducted. There are records set by Tom. Most of them are on the road, so we can't talk about them. But there's one story I want to tell you about. We were playing the King this quarter, you can talk on that. For those not familiar, the King is Eddie Stainer. He was a fast-pitch softball pitcher who toured the country with a catcher, the world actually, a catcher, first baseman, shortstop, and took on teams all over the place. In his prime, he was unhittable. One night, on the Johnny Carson show, he struck out 3 of New York's great center fielders, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, and Dick Snyder. Well, on this night at Legion Park, Tom Grimes got a base hit off Eddie Stainer. After the games, it was our practice to stop at some local watering hole to go over things. And since it was our last time together for the season, we went to Fourmier's Teepee. Charlie was a player of ours, was trying to the boss, and we know where. Well, into the evening and well into the cake, Tom was shooting pool with a couple of guys, and somebody asked him to demonstrate how he got his hit off Eddie Stainer. As I remember the story, Tom demonstrated his swing with a pool cue, hit the swing and leg above the pitch table. Came back and hit him, he stood open his face with his right eye. Wound up with stitches and a multicolored eye, none of which would have been so bad, except the next day was his first day on the job as a teacher at Sheboygan Falls High School. We never did tell him how to explain that to his buddy Luke and the students. I understand the facts haven't come yet, am I right on that? I apologize for that. But before I ask Tom to come up here, I want to tell you that after considerable discussion, our listening also, we had conceded that Tom was the best player of the clan. The clan consists of one brother, 2 brothers, and 2 nephews, and 2 great nephews who all tried to make with names. And hands down, Tom was the best of the clan. So ladies and gentlemen, I present Tom Grimes, the newest member of Sheboygan Hall of Fame.
I really should have had Mouse introduce me. And I also want to thank, like Ken, Denny, and Donna for all they
Tom Grimes giving his induction speech.
You know what Tom Hanks said in A League of Their Own? There's no crying in baseball. So I'm going to acknowledge my family up there, my wife who's waited all those nights to make sure that we got home safe and sound. We didn't have any busing when I played. I never played in a beautiful place like this. We played at Legion Park, and we threw stones at each other in the infield. Ross and I, it's unbelievable. But my grandkids are up there. I've got 5 of them. They can't believe that Grandpa could actually run at one time. They think the quickest thing I do is get out of my easy chair to change the channel. My wife and my son TJ and daughter Sarah, granddaughter Caroline. She's my favorite Wisconsin granddaughter. But I love them dearly. I also want to mention that when I started with the A's, Denny was right. I was not a very good player. I didn't know what else to do. I'd just gotten out of the Air Force. You know, I played fast pitch softball in the Air Force. They didn't have any high school baseball when I played. So what was I going to do in the summer? I was a basketball player, you know. So Chuck Zeikert and Carl Behringer were the 2 managers that I played for. They looked at me and they just shook their head and said, what are we going to do with this guy? But I think they were short of guys at the time, so they stuck me in left field. As Denny said, I had a hard time getting it in from the outfield. So then John Moriarty retired and I played first base. And what do you know? It turned out pretty good after all those years. Now, I would like to certainly now acknowledge, especially, I don't want to mention all the teammates because I know I'll forget somebody, but some of these guys were there for almost all of my 9 years. Mouse for sure, Tommy, Dale, Gino, Kong, Bobby Sauger, Rick Rice, Donnie Diener, and some of the guys that have passed away, Ronnie Hare, Charlie Cometer, Randy Mirza, and Dick Larson. Boy, we have fun. You know, I was a pretty good player, but I was not a great player. I don't make any bones about it. I was never the best player on any team that I ever played for the A's. But, gosh, did we have fun. We had a good time. I would like to mention that those of you that don't remember Legion Park, that was just a kind of a mini Wrigley field. We had lines on the walls. It was about, 290 down the line and about 400 in front of or behind the tree in right center where Dale kept hitting these doubles off the tree, 440-foot doubles. And we played some great teams. We had mostly local guys that we played some great teams. Madison, Waukesha, Green Bay, gosh, we had against a lot of really good players. And I'm just going to share one little story which kind of exemplifies, I think, some of the good players we played against and some of the fun that we had. We were playing in Waukesha one Sunday afternoon. And Waukesha had a pitcher that had just been released by the Yankees. His name was Mike Jerowitz. Some of you guys might remember him. He threw BBs. He was one of the old bonus babies. And he had just gotten released by the Yankees. And so he's pitching against us, and I was playing first base, and the left-handed pitcher. And Mouse and I must have tried this about 50 times. You know what the hidden ball trick is? When you, after an out, instead of throwing the ball back to the pitcher, you know, the pitcher with Bobby Sauger would wander off the mound, and instead of throwing it back, Mouse would look to see if the runner was watching. So he'd throw it to me, and I'd be wandering around like this, you know. And Mike Jerowitz, who just had been playing in the majors a few years ago, he's talking to the first base, and he doesn't notice that I have the ball. So the pitcher can't go on the mound, so Bobby doesn't go on the mound yet. So all of a sudden, Jerowitz wanders off of first base, and I take the ball, and I tag him. The umpire says, "Yeah!" Well, the umpire had just retired from AAA ball. And so Jerowitz looks around. He walks back to the dugout. The umpire says to me, "If I were you, I would be careful the first time you're out. Because you're going to pitch it." Well, guess who was leading off the next inning? And I'm a left-handed batter. Jerowitz is a left-handed pitcher. He's throwing BBs before that. So, these guys are all telling me, "Tom, you better be careful. That baby's coming right at you." So, I'm standing there in the batter's box. The first pitch, I'm bailing out. I just left off. Jerowitz throws a little curveball on the outside corner. Everybody's laughing except for me. The second pitch, same thing. Third pitch, you're out of there. And I was happy as heck walking back. We have a lot of fun. And I want to really thank you all. This is a great honor for me, my family. And this guy here, this is the Sheboygan A's. And Donna, too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm told the plaques are here, so Tom. There is a severe thunderstorm going out, so you're going to have to get out here. Okay, where's the plaque? Where's the other plaque?
And with that big round of thunder, that concludes the induction ceremony here at Wildwood Park. And we are still in a rain delay. Hopefully we'll be able to get this game started again, but don't hold your breath. There will be no more baseball tonight, fans. There will be a doubleheader tomorrow. The game that went 4 innings today does not count. It'll be at some point possibly replayed. But as far as action tonight, we are all done. We're going to turn the live stream off. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's doubleheader starts at 1 o'clock.